Do you agree with Swapneil that the testing is totally inadequate?
Yes, I do agree the testing is inadequate. The rate at which testing has gone up has not matched the rate at which numbers have gone up.
So that means these numbers, we are breaching the 4 lakh mark now. We actually are undercounting our numbers. By what fold do you think?
Well, that's hard to say, but the numbers are predicted to stall around 5 lakhs simply because there won't be enough testing. And that also sort of suits the supermodel that the government has decided to only listen to.
But that supermodel, none of you are believing. You do not believe that
But
the
yeah.
supermodel on which the government is basing its strategy is a number that you believe.
Well,
Shahid?
I'm not a modeler, but certainly most modelers don't believe that.
Swapnil, do you believe the numbers?
I would call it bogus science. Other people use the acronym in a different way, but yeah, that's what I would say. I don't believe it at all. It almost seems malicious at this point. The way data is being given out, it's low quality. We have huge blind spots. We don't know what's happening. Some models suggest the number of infections in India per day are somewhere between 5 to 10 million, maybe higher. We're undercounting deaths somewhere between 5 to 10x. Is ridiculous this far in the pandemic. Barkha, long back, maybe about 2 or 3 months back when we spoke, I said we are early in the pandemic and we went a little back and forth on that. We had no data. We couldn't tell. We thought the worst was over because we had low quality data, and we still have low quality data. How do we make projections? How do we know which area needs how much oxygen? And all our detection is skewed in the cities right now. We don't know what's happening in rural India. Resources have always been inadequate in rural India. Where do we deploy oxygen? Where do we deploy healthcare workers? Which areas are experiencing the highest growth?
Can you elaborate on this phrase you've used, bogus science? The data is bogus science.
The acronym serves multiple purposes when you use the first letters.
No, what I mean is your
It
basic
doesn't make
saying,
sense. It doesn't make sense because the data you are using is so flawed. Any model that you make has certain assumptions in it. And if you're using low quality data, very poor data, and you're building a model based on that data, how can it work? It just doesn't make sense.
So we're
But
actually dealing. Yeah, yes, Shahid. Sorry, and then Rajiv.
so
Yeah.
let me just add to what Swapnil is saying and give you a very quick calculation why the death data is flawed. The natural death rate in India is 7.2 per 1,000 population per year. That translates to roughly 27,000 people dying of natural causes every day. If we are told that only 3,500 people are dying because of COVID, adding another 3,500 to 2,700 is not going to cause the kind of traffic jams that you see in crematoria on burial grounds. So that itself should tell you that we are counting deaths by at least 5 to 10-fold, like Swapnil just mentioned.
And that's scary because we think the official data is so bad that actually the real numbers could be 4 times, 5 times higher, both in terms of fatalities and the case load.